Hey everyone, Theo here. Today I'm reviewing the Parblo Intangbo SW. This is a small 7 by 4 inch pen tablet for drawing. First of all, a disclaimer, this is a review unit provided by the company, and in this video I'll just present to you my findings so that you can decide whether this is worth the money. Price of this tablet at the time of review is US $59. Let me give you the bottom line up front. This tablet is well made and the design looks good. The pen supports tilt and 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. And this pen is very sensitive with low initial activation force. Unfortunately, there is diagonal line wobble when drawing slow diagonal lines. And this is the same problem that I experienced with the Parblo Intangbo M that I have reviewed months ago. And the pen performance can vary quite noticeably depending on the app you use. So here you can see with the tapered strokes, they taper quite abruptly. With Clip Studio Paint, line performance is quite good. So you can see the lines can taper quite well. If you draw subjects with straight lines such as vehicles, buildings, furniture, drawing straight lines can be quite challenging. For drawing organic subjects, diagonal line wobble is not too much of an issue. This pen tablet can work with Android devices, but you must first switch to Android mode first by pressing and holding these two buttons for 5 seconds. And if you want to switch to PC mode again, press and hold these two buttons for 5 seconds. And the tablet will disconnect and you have to connect with Bluetooth again. The process of switching between Android and computer mode and then reconnecting the Bluetooth again can be quite tricky, and I will talk more about that later on. I just wish Parblo has some sort of switch for you to switch between the two modes. This tablet does not work well with dual display setups because the driver's switch display feature does not work like tablets from other companies. So when you use that switch display shortcut, it does not move the cursor from one display to another and back. So the bottom line is, if you're buying this tablet for drawing, there is diagonal line wobble or jitter which will affect your drawing. So you have to decide whether or not you can accept that, and I will talk more about that later on in the full review. And now let's take a look at the items included with the purchase. This is the packaging box and it looks nice. It says here that the tablet is wireless, comes with the Parblo S01 pen and supports 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. Everything is very neatly packed in the box. That's the user manual, the pen tablet, a braided USB-A to USB-C charging cable for the internal battery, 6 replacement pen tips, a USB-A to USB-C adapter. This is the Parblo S01 short stroke hard pen. And this pen supports tilt and 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. This pen is not powered by battery, so no charging is required. Let me show you something interesting. This is the pen nib remover. So you can take this out to remove the pen nib, and you can put it back here so that it will not be lost. And if you remove the cap, you can actually store 3 pen nibs here so that you can always have extras with you. This pen comes with 2 customizable side buttons. This silicone grip is comfortable to hold, and this pen tip has minimal to no movement when in contact with the drawing surface. This design here will also prevent the pen from rolling off the table. This pen tablet is available in 2 colors, purple and black, and you can see they have accessories with matching colors as well. The black pen with the black cable, and this is the purple cable with the purple pen. Let's look at the design. So this pen tablet comes with a protective film which you have to remove. And this is the matte textured drawing surface. And this design looks good. There are 6 customizable hotkeys by the side and they have firm clicks, and this is a wheel with a button in the middle to switch the functions for the wheel. Here at the top there is this indent where you can place the pen because this tablet does not come with any pen stand. Drawing area of this small pen tablet is 7 by 4 inches and a medium-sized tablet usually has a 10 by 6 drawing area. So generally speaking, I usually recommend people go with a 10 by 6 inch tablet if they can, but if you have a limited budget, then I guess 7 by 4 still works. It's just that this drawing size will not pair well with much larger displays, such as displays that are maybe 20 inches or larger. This matte textured surface provides a subtle tactile drawing experience, and I can get good control with the pen on this surface. This is the back with more texture compared to the front. There are 4 rubber feet, 1 at each corner, and I noticed some quality control issue. The back looks flat, but it's not completely flat. So when I have the tablet on the table, it actually wobbles slightly. Can you see that? And because of that, the feet at one of these corners or at 2 corners do not touch the table, so the grip is affected. So when I'm drawing, if I have my palm on the tablet and I push too hard, the tablet can move, and that's due to the grip. So you may want to, sorry about the noise, you may want to buy bigger rubber feet to paste on top of the smaller rubber feet. That's the button for power and Bluetooth pairing. To pair with Bluetooth, you have to press the button 3 times, and to power on and off, you press and hold for 2 seconds. That's the USB-C charging port and the reset hole. Oh, this tablet can actually be used with Android phones and tablets, but you have to switch the mode first. So you can press these 2 buttons to switch to tablet mode, and if you want to use this as a normal pen tablet with your computer, you have to press these 2 buttons. Let's connect this tablet to my Windows laptop now. So to power on the tablet, just hold the power button for 2 seconds, the blue light will appear. Press the power button 3 times and the blue light will flash to go into Bluetooth pairing mode. The pairing process with Windows is not as straightforward compared to Mac OS and Android tablets, which will detect the tablet instantly. For Windows, you have to go into Bluetooth and devices. Click here, view more devices, scroll down, and under Bluetooth devices discovery, set it to advanced instead of default. And now when I add device, this Windows laptop can detect this tablet. I have tested 3 Windows laptops without that setting enabled, and all 3 laptops could not detect the tablet, so you have to enable that particular advanced setting. And now it's connected. And now let's see what the driver can do. This is the Windows driver version 4.2.0.2 with firmware 1.10. So this is where you can customize the 6 hotkeys and the dial or the wheel, and you can create your own keyboard shortcuts. Just click on the hotkey, click on the option and choose hotkeys, and you can input your own shortcuts. Now there is this switch display feature that I need to use because I use dual display setups, and this is actually the keyboard shortcut Windows P. This is not actually switch display. I usually set switch display to a pen button, so when I click on the shortcut, the cursor will move from one display to the other, and if I click again, the cursor will move back. But this switch display is actually Windows P. So if you press Windows P, it will call up this projection option, which is not switch display. So this driver does not support dual display setups. which is to say that if you're drawing on this display and you want to move the cursor over there, you have to use your mouse or the touchpad. Parblo has had this problem since forever and it still doesn't work here. Working area is where you can map the drawing area to the display. You can just leave this as default. This is where you can customize the two side buttons on the pen, and notice the UI, the text, it's overflowing. This is where you can customize the pressure sensitivity curve. Now if pressure is not working as expected, or if the lines look strange to you, you may have to enable or disable Windows Ink to troubleshoot. And here at the top, you can actually create shortcut sets or groups. For example, if you use Photoshop, you can actually create 6 shortcuts specific to Photoshop when it launches. And if you also use Adobe Illustrator, you can add Illustrator here and create a group of shortcuts specifically for Illustrator when Illustrator launches. So that's quite useful. The Mac driver will have similar functionality, but the user interface will look slightly different. Actually very different. And now it's time for the line test, and the app that I'm using is Medibank Paint Pro, and you can see there is this problem where the stroke would not start until much later. So at the time of making this video, Medibank Paint Pro is not usable with this tablet. So instead of Medibank Paint, I will use Clip Studio Paint for this line test. And this is the Windows version. So this is how thick the brush is. And as you can see, when I draw this diagonal line at normal speed, I can see the diagonal line wobble and jitter again. Yep, there is definitely diagonal line wobble and jitter. Initial activation force is quite low. The pen is very sensitive, but there is the diagonal line wobble and jitter. And this is the same problem that I experienced with the Parblo Intangbo M, the non-wireless version. Yeah, so this affects accuracy, obviously. Lines are able to taper well. This is the transition from thin to thick. This is alright, as in the line is able to transition smoothly from thin to thick and back to thin. Now this is also a diagonal line, so you can see diagonal line wobble and jitter as well. Next, let's see if we can maintain line consistency, line width, by maintaining consistent pressure, and we can do so. But this is also a diagonal line, so there is diagonal line wobble and jitter. This is me drawing some dots, works fine. This app is Kritar, and I want to show you tilt sensitivity, which works. So the cursor is able to follow the direction of the pen like this, and as I draw this, the line did not break, so this is good. The pen performance will vary depending on the app you use. So with Sketchbook, I find that it's quite difficult for me to control the line width. So you can see the lines are either very thick or very thin. You may have to customize the pressure curve more. So this looks right with more control. Now the tapered strokes for this app is not good. So here you can see it tapers quite abruptly, and this happens with some other drawing apps as well. This is Photoshop. Pressure works fine. You can see the strokes, they taper quite abruptly. It's not smooth and natural. Pressure works fine. And I can see some diagonal line wobble as well. This is Medibank Paint Pro on the Mac and it works fine. So it's just the Windows version that has the problem. So as I draw this very thick line, I can see diagonal line wobble. Yep, there is diagonal line wobble. Initial activation force is definitely quite low, so this pen is sensitive. Lines are able to taper properly here. Sketchbook also has the same problem, so the lines are either very thin or very thick. You definitely need to control your line properly when drawing with this app. And line tapers is still very abrupt. And now let's talk about drawing experience. And usually when I see issues with diagonal line wobble, I will want to draw angular subjects. In this case, I'm just drawing a car that looks pretty angular. Yeah, I can see some diagonal line wobble there. Yeah, as I draw this line, let me zoom in for you. It moves slightly as I draw that line. So let me draw another diagonal line here. I can see some diagonal line wobble, but it's not too bad. So this vehicle is very angular, which is great. This allows me to test the diagonal line. And you can see there is another wobbly line there. This is also the same problem that you get with the Parblo Intangbo M, the tablet that is not wireless. Yeah, so Parblo definitely needs to, improve the line quality, because right now it's not as good compared to other companies. I guess for beginners, they may not mind as much. Okay, if I draw faster, yep, I can see the line is straighter. Because the pen is so sensitive, you can actually press down hard to get the broad strokes just to color big areas. Or you can draw with minimal pressure to get the thin lines. So you don't have to keep adjusting the brush size, which is very convenient. Yep, you can see the wobble. Okay, let's draw something organic and see how it looks. Let's take a look at the lines. Let's just use the fill bucket because it's faster. So when you're drawing organic subjects where the straight lines are not obviously straight, then the wobble doesn't seem to be that much of an issue. Alright, no real issues with diagonal lines for this drawing. So if you have to draw objects with straight lines such as vehicles, buildings, table, furniture, then there is going to be some challenge to drawing that. But if you're drawing organic subjects, then it should be fine. Alright, to conclude, if you have to draw objects with straight lines such as vehicles, furniture, buildings, or anything with straight lines, then it can be quite challenging to draw the straight lines due to the diagonal line wobble. See here, I'm trying to draw a rectangle and this line is not straight. You may have to use, some guides to draw the straight lines. See, I'm trying to draw a laptop, but I can't get the lines to appear straight. Let me test the Android support as well, since I have some time today. So I'm connecting this Android tablet to the pen tablet and it's connected. Parblo has provided an Android driver which you have to install in order for this to work, and I have already installed the Android driver. So this driver will allow you to map the drawing area to your tablet, and you can also customize the hotkeys and the roller or the wheel, but you cannot customize the two side buttons. And if you have to change the drawing area aspect ratio, the app will disconnect the tablet from Bluetooth, and you have to repair with Bluetooth again and then start the app again. And I actually have this problem where this small area will map to the tablet display. So this is obviously wrong. So when I choose the other aspect ratios, in this case 16:9, it doesn't work. So I have to choose this adaptation 1/3 area abnormally. And after that, the drawing area maps properly. So let me show you the drawing performance now. So this app that I'm using is Concepts, and I'm going to draw a rectangle just to show you the drawing area. So as I draw from this point to this point and down here, so this area is mapped to the tablet, and you have to use both in vertical orientation. This app is Sketchbook, and I'm using the pencil brush as well. So if I press down hard, pressure works, and if I tilt the pen, you can see the broad stroke. Now it's vertical, now it's broad, and the transition from thin to thick will vary depending on how much you tilt, so you can get rather smooth transition here compared to Concepts. I had to disable Bluetooth a few seconds ago, and when I enable Bluetooth again, I could not connect to the tablet, so I have to repair the tablet. And now that it's repaired, I have this problem where I cannot set the working area. So now the working area is reset to this small area here. If I tap here, it says please check if mode is enabled. I believe they are referring to this tablet mode where you have to press these two buttons to switch to tablet mode. If you want to use this tablet with your computer, you have to press these two buttons to switch to computer mode. I just don't understand why you have to press shortcut buttons like this. I mean, the company should have just included a toggle where you can switch the toggle. Anyway, I have done the tablet mode enabling. So now the tablet is flashing blue again, which means it's going into connection mode. So let's pair this again. So let's forget device and pair it again. Pair, it's paired, let's check. It's loading. No matching resolution. Do you want to switch to a device ratio? Okay, let's tap OK. I have managed to set the working area again. So what I basically did was set this to computer mode and then switch it back to tablet mode, and then quit the Parblo app, restart the Parblo app and connect with Bluetooth again, and now it works. This is Infinite Painter. I can see slight wobble. Okay, the lines cannot taper. If I try to taper the line, you can see it's quite abrupt, it's not sharp at all. So if you want to taper the lines, you actually have to draw slowly and then release the pen. Yeah, like that. And you have to adjust the pressure curve with this app. So using the combination key shortcuts to change from tablet mode to computer mode is not ideal. They should really make a switch or a toggle. Alright, to conclude, I think this product can be better. The Android and PC mode switch is difficult to use. There is diagonal line wobble when drawing. I guess for creating casual art, it still works fine. It's just that the pen performance, the line quality can be better. Okay, so if you guys are interested to buy this, you can check out the links that I have for you in the video description below. Thanks for watching. See you guys again. Bye.